Hey guys, Crystal here from Crystal's Crazy Corner. What's going on? Yep. We made it through Monday. We did it. That's right, we did it. One more work day for me, and then I have a day off. And just think that day off is Wacky Wednesday, and it happens to fall on a holiday. Gonna have to stop by for that Wacky Wednesday. I got some special things planned. What's up my sleeve? You just gotta have to wait and see, that's all. What's the topic for tonight? Tonight's topic's a little deep. Sit back, hang on. I want to talk about a thankless job. A job that no one ever actually thinks they're going to have to do. Being a family caregiver. It's not easy. When you're watching your loved one suffer, and your loved one is now depending on you, it's a very thankless job. And what happens to a lot of those family caregivers? You hear about the elderly being abused, but what you don't hear about is the abuse that family caregivers go through. Why? Because they never open their mouth. Why? Because it's their loved one. So why is their loved one doing this to them? There's multiple different reasons, unfortunately. Sometimes, depending on what their elderly loved one is going through, it could be dementia. They may not even realize what they're doing. But does that make it right? No, it does not. At the same time, they could not necessarily mean to abuse, but they could be extremely frustrated. You look at it this way: when you can't do the things that you're used to doing, it's frustrating. When you're losing your friends due to age or whatever, it's frustrating. When you're in chronic pain, it's frustrating. When you forget things, it's frustrating. And all those other undignified things that go along with getting old or being disabled, they're all frustrating. And you know what? Sometimes, as we all do, unfortunately, we lash out at our loved ones. And unfortunately, for the family caregivers, they are the ones that get lashed out at the most. Why? Because you're there. Because you are family. Because they feel comfortable enough with you to be able to do that. Does that make it right? No, not at all. Do you deserve that? No, not at all. What do you do? At times, there's not a lot you can do. My advice: get away from the situation, even if it's just for a moment. Do not react to anger and abuse with anger and abuse. Two wrongs don't always, they never make a right. So that's a big no-no in the first place. Does it happen? Yeah, it does. Why? Because that caregiver is the one that's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that never gets a break. They have given up their life to take care of a loved one. Is that frustrating? You daggone right it is. Is that thankless? You daggone right it is. Because think of it this way, and this is going to sound god-awful, but you know I'm brutally honest. That caregiver, that one who's given up everything, what happens? The one that they gave up their life for, the one that they're taking care of, eventually leaves them. And then what? A lot of times that caregiver has to rebuild their life that they gave up. Is that fair? No. That's why I said being a family caregiver is one of the most thankless jobs ever. But let me tell you something. It takes a very strong person, a very loving, and a very kind person to be a family caregiver. It is not an easy job. And I know that a lot of people cannot just get away. You have absolutely no one to help you. You have no one to turn to. Yeah, you do. I'll always listen. I've helped take care of family members with multiple different illnesses. None of them have been easy. Not a single one. It was an honor to do, but let me tell you, it's not easy. And my heart goes out to every single one of you out there right now who are listening to me going, yeah, you're right, it's not easy. Why me? Why you? Because you're a wonderfully kind, loving person who has a heart of gold, who's doing the right thing. They were there, and they helped you when you were little, and you're doing the same thing now. And I, personally, want to say thank you to every single one of you family caregivers out there who are taking care of your loved ones right now. Like I said, it is a thankless job. It is a very hard job. But I want you to know you are loved. And I thank you for doing what you're doing. Keep your chin up. There will be good days. There will be bad days. And I know what goes on behind those closed doors. The things that you don't really want to discuss because you don't want to put them in a bad light. Or somebody's going to think that you deserved it, and you didn't. You didn't at all. You're just the one that they're taking their frustrations out on right now. And that does not make it right at all. But hang in there. It will get better. It may not be an hour from now. It may not be a day from now. It may not be a week from now. But it will get better. And just remember, just like always, I love you. And I thank you. And I hope that I will see you guys on Wednesday. Love you all.